This meeting is being recorded.
What's up, party people? I'm gonna let everyone trickle in here. All right. One rule for this call is
all in my life at the time. I don't know. I mean, but
one rule for this call, or I guess two rules. Everyone please be muted, and then your camera must be on. If your camera is not on, I will remove it. You have to be shirtless like Wes. Thank you. Awesome. I don't care if you're working out like Sarah. That's great. And then let's see. I want to give it like a couple minutes for everyone to join in. How's everyone doing? You don't have to mute yourself yet. I'm not talking to you. It's not bad for you. Everyone's doing terribly. It's great. Yeah, good. Good. Morgan,
a little bit of this, a little of that.
Morgan, where are you at? Oh, there you are. Morgan's got a better sign than me. It's kind of depressing.
It is pretty sick.
I didn't see it. Like my sign isn't. It's not even legible on the camera.
Well, mine isn't either.
Give it like 2 minutes. All right, I'm about to go off on this call, so it's gonna be easy. Guys, I didn't show you this. Thank you. Okay, so like I mentioned like earlier, so at the end I'm gonna do like it's a little game, and I'm gonna have everyone, like someone's gonna win $30 just for like being on the call, because it's a call that's kind of establishing the direction that I want to take the team. So I just wanted as many people on here as possible, but we're gonna play a game at the end. It's gonna be like very stupid game, and then see, whoever wins. And I'll just email you I'll email you a gift card.
I love seeing the common people who interact in the group chat on here, because I feel like everybody else just they ain't about it. That's okay. They're missing out.
I had a few people that were going to join, and like last minute they just text me like, "Hey, like I can't join. We recorded anyway. All right, I think I'm going to start because we're at 4:02. Maybe somebody will join. Okay. And so I want you guys to also participate in the chat if you can. So like just throughout the presentation, you guys have questions or anything. I want you guys to engage. If you guys want to say anything, even if it's not like a question, you just want to say something, or if it's like anything I say resonates with you, just kind of type it in the chat, because you might be thinking something that everyone else is thinking as well and just doesn't want to say anything. So, and then throughout the presentation too, I'm going to pause and ask questions. So like every now and then I'll probably ask for a volunteer. So yeah, and if no one volunteers, I'll just choose you. So that's the fun. That's how I'm gonna make these calls now, just make them a little more fun, more engaging. So that way I'm not just like lecturing, because that's not fun. Okay, so we're all recording. Cool. I'm gonna share the screen. So before I go into what the presentation is, does anyone know what core values are? Like, does anyone have any core values already for themselves? If you don't know what it means, say I don't know. Just type in the chat yes or no if you know what core values are. Yes, so it's cool. Cool. Okay, awesome. So essentially what I'm going to go over is setting core values to establish a lifetime of just optimized health, right? Because I'm a fitness coach, or I'm not a life coach. And so, you know, just to give you guys some clarity on kind of where I got this idea from is I'm going through a mentorship to just help myself be a better coach and leader overall. And so this is an activity that we kind of have to do to establish kind of where our core values sit at, and then how we can, you know, use that to become a better leader, a better coach, in pretty much any sense, whether it be in your family, in your life, in your business, whatever the case might be. So purpose of this is core values, setting core values to establish a lifetime of optimized health. So this is essentially going to help you guys. If you guys are in a really good groove right now, you're like, you know, I feel really good with my health, but you feel like every now and then you're like, what am I doing? Like, why am I even doing this? Or I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this up forever. That's essentially what this call is for. So what are core values? They guide your actions in everything that you do. So how you treat yourself, how you treat others, the standards that you maintain for yourself, and what you do and do not allow in your life. Okay. So a bit of a visual of what core values do for you, right? So this is where you are and then where you want to be. The bridge that is holding the two together is your core value. You cannot cross over to where you want to be until you find and establish core values in your life. No matter how successful you think you might be, say you are extremely successful in life, whether it be with your business, with your fitness, with whatever the case might be, you can become even more successful and even better at what you're doing if you establish some core values. So why should we have them? If there's a disconnect between the core values that you have and your actions, you're giving up the integrity that you have for yourself. So for example, one of my core values is that everything in my life is there because I allow it to be there. So if I allow toxic people in my life, then I've given up my integrity by not standing up for myself. So for example, when I used to be in a very toxic relationship, I didn't have this core value back then. I was stomped all over. You know, I gave up my integrity. There was no trust or integrity that I had for myself. And so me establishing this as part of my life makes sure that I remove any negativity in my life and I keep all positive. So for me, why are they so important to me? So at 21 year old, when I was 21, I had no direction in my life. I was 50 pounds overweight. I was drinking every weekend, no plan or hope for my life. I felt like a fraud because I was a coach. Like I had clients at the time. I was a trainer, and I was always preaching about fitness and health. Like I've been doing this whole fitness trainer thing since I was 18, I'm 27. So I was probably like 3 years in here, and I was a fraud, right? So this is a story. I don't know if anyone here really knows this, but when I've done like speaking conferences, I've said this is I almost took my life when I was 21. I was at a bridge near my parents' house. And so if you guys live in Reisterstown, this bridge is the one that goes across Berryman's, right? It goes down Berryman's and it looks over 795. So I was there. I forget the exact, like a lot of people know like the date and everything, but I know it was 2018, and my dog saved me that day. So a core value I didn't realize I had at the time was that family is everything. So family is everything is in my core values. And the reason I didn't do it is because I thought to myself, how is my dog going to get home? It's very funny to look at, but that's I was sitting there for like maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I was like, I can't, how is he going to get home? He's going to be stuck in his car. Like, how are we going to, like, how is this going to happen? So I ended up going home. That was pretty much the only reason. That was like the bottom point of my life. And that moment realized like, I do have something to live for, right? And so that's kind of something why core values are so important to me. And so your life and your family's lives depend on you being happy, healthy, and capable of governing yourself at your highest capacity. So if you don't have core values to live by, you're always going to be in this constant cycle of like, I don't know if I can keep doing this because of X, Y, Z. I can't do this because I live with my parents. I can't do this because, my girlfriend doesn't like to eat healthy or work out. Oh, I can't do this because I'm just too busy, right? You having core values puts that power in your own hands. You're the one that has to take sole responsibility of it. And it's kind of scary to think about. So this is the cycle of fitness without core values, okay? Number one, you start a fitness journey to get attention. You want a dopamine hit because you just want to try something new, right? Then all of a sudden, you're not following a program. You're just kind of just getting into it, right? You have no stability, no direction with what you're doing in regards to fitness, right? So eventually you realize you have no structure. So you give up on the journey because you just feel overwhelmed. You're like, I don't know if I'm doing this right. There's so much on social media. I don't know what I should do tomorrow, the next day, the next week, and just stop, right? Then the cycle restarts. You see a new trend. You see keto. You see intermittent fasting. You try something new because you want a new dopamine, and it just goes over and over and over again because there's no structure to what you're doing. There are no values behind it. So this is something I just kind of want you guys to think about. Is there a time that you did something without core values? Maybe you started a business, maybe you're in a relationship, you followed some fad diet. So I want you guys to just kind of think about that for a second. You don't have to answer anything, but just something for you guys to think about. Why are core values crucial? So without core values, we have no structure. Okay? Without structure, you have no freedom. And people typically think that structure is restrictive, right? Now, if we have structure, that means we have to stay within these boundaries, within these lines, and like it feels like a prison. You having too much freedom becomes a prison, okay? Because when you feel imprisoned from a lack of structure, we become overwhelmed. Think of a time. I'm going to use the gas gauge example here in a second. So let me just go down in order real quick. I'm getting ahead of myself. Without core values, you have no structure. Without structure, you have no freedom. Too much freedom becomes a prison. When we feel imprisoned from a lack of structure, we become overwhelmed. When we get overwhelmed, we zoom out and we start to overthink every little thing. We don't focus on the task at hand. That's when paralysis by analysis ensues. So as an entrepreneur, a business owner, paralysis by analysis is like, I have all these things to do, but then there's all these other things I need to do as well. So I don't get the basic stuff done, right? That's paralysis by analysis. There's too much going on, so you just don't do anything. So think of yourself when you guys are driving down the street and your car has no gas, right? Your car has no gas. The first thing you want to do is you want to go get gas. You fill up your gas tank. Are you worried about when you're going to stop and get your car filled again? Like if you have a gas gauge that works and it shows full, you're not worried about stopping, right? It's telling you right then and there, okay, we have a system. Okay, it's getting low. Now we can stop. If you have no gas gauge and it's broken, you're going to stop every mile or every couple miles. I don't know if it's full or not. When should I stop? Should I stop soon? You keep veering off the path and you're not worried about the task at hand, which is getting to where you need to go. So that's the gas gauge analogy that has kind of helped me to see why core values are super important in creating that structure. So without core values, there's a disconnect between your public self. So this is who you are showing everyone. This could be what you're showing myself, what you show Morgan, what you show Chris. This is what you're showing everyone else. And then there's your real self, right? This is who you keep hidden. You probably aren't showing this to anyone. Maybe your significant other, maybe no one. Maybe it's something that you struggle with. You don't show your real self. You keep that hidden, and that's where there's a disconnect. If you don't have these core values, you have no essential rules to live by. So you can you float all over the place. You never stay true to who you really are. So how do we find who we are? So I want you guys to take a second and maybe pull out your phone, or if you guys are on your phone on Zoom, that's fine too. Like go to the notes section. I'm gonna take like a minute. And I want you guys to answer these questions for me. So what is important to you? This could be anything. It could be your family, your dog, your life. I mean, sorry, not your life. Your job, the gym. Write maybe 4 things, right? What is it about you that makes you different? Okay, it could be, I don't know, the type of person you are, you take care of people, you grew up overweight, now you're in really good shape. Okay. What do you see in the world of health that needs fixing? Because, a lot of obesity going around. I want you guys to answer this. I won't give you guys any more direction. You guys answer, and you don't have to share. Just write it for yourself. I'll answer these for myself. So just out loud while you guys write. What's important to me is my health, my family, and my business, and the people in my business. Pretty simple. Those are the 4 main things that my life revolves around. What is it about me that makes me different? Is that that was pretty much what I said earlier. I grew up super out of weight, or not out of weight, super out of shape. I almost took my life, and I realized that that's not the life I wanted to live. What do you see in the world of health that needs fixing? That one's pretty self-explanatory. Everyone's out of shape, everyone has bad habits, and everyone has low self-confidence. What parts of yourself are you still hiding? Another thing, number 3, what do you see in the world of health that needs fixing is that people get into fitness for the wrong reasons, and that's why it doesn't stick. And what parts of yourself are you still hiding? Part of myself that I'm still hiding, is there a time where I'm still very insecure about certain things, right? Maybe insecure about myself as a coach, insecure about myself as, you know, an athlete, as a bodybuilder. Maybe sometimes I'm not, you know, the best husband or son or things like that. Those are things that I kind of hide and don't really, you know, share with the world because that's something that I deal with on my own, right? Okay, so you guys, that was about a minute. Next one. Now, finding who you want to be. Okay, so I want you guys to do just do this exercise real quick. You don't have to write this down. So everyone close their eyes for like 30 seconds. So imagine yourself in 5 years. This is I did this practice in the desert. I was on a retreat with, there was like 10 other guys. And we all had to sit in the desert for 3 hours. This is an exercise that they had us do, and it's a meditation that I never forgot. So imagine yourself in 5 years, okay? Just imagine the type of person you want to be. What are you wearing? Where are you? Do you have kids? Are you married? What kind of job do you have, etc. To this person, right? The person of you in 5 years. What is important to this version of you, right? What in your life is important to you in 5 years? What does this person do differently than what you're currently doing? And what parts of yourself are you now embracing in those? And so in 5 years, what parts of yourself are you embracing that you're not embracing right now? Take a second and just like let it sink in. Let just actually think about it. What's important to you in 5 years? What is this person doing differently than what you're currently doing to get to that point? And what parts are you actually embracing that you wish you were embracing right now? Okay, let's go to the next slide. So how do we integrate core values into our life, right? Obviously, I would relate it back to fitness. What gets done no matter what? Okay, on days that you're extremely anxious, maybe you're super down in the dumps, you really, you wake up with the depressing feelings or anxious feelings, or you're super tired. What gets done no matter what? So for me, in regards to fitness, like I just go to work, I get my work done, I reply to everybody, I go to the gym, I make my bed, I walk my dog, I prepare my food. Like, to you guys, what gets done, right? No matter what. And so when I was doing this in terms of like business, what gets done no matter what? I reply to everyone. I structure my schedule. I go to the gym and I go on a walk. Those are things that I have to do every single day, or my core values start to crumble. Like those are things. Even if I have the most anxious, depressing day, as long as I reply to everyone, I get everyone back what they need. I get myself moving. I eat, and I walk my dogs. My day's pretty much taken care of to the bare minimum. Am I going to excel that way? No, but the bare minimum is taken care of. Now, what are your default habits each day? So me, for example, is I prep my clothes the night before. No matter what, I always prep my clothes for the next day. Well, let me see. For everyone that joined, just make sure your cameras are on and muted. Okay. And so, yeah, so think about what are your default habits, and then do you always stay true to these? So take a second and write these down as well. What gets done no matter what terrible day you're having, what gets done? What are your default habits? So what do you do every day? Like what's the structure in your day that you have done, whether it be for work, for the gym, whatever. Like I always call my mom at dinner. That's like one of my default habits. And do you always stay true to these? The honest answer for me is I don't always stay true to them in terms of my default habits. What I get done, I always get done. But default habits, for example, sometimes I won't call my mom. Sometimes I won't walk in the morning. I walk later. But that's something that, again, I'm working through to make sure I stay committed to my work. Now, think about a time that you stayed true to a system you had in place, right? And this doesn't have to be fitness related. And what were the successes? So a lot of you guys in here are very intelligent people, okay? I know a lot about fitness. I know a lot about training, hormones, like that's my thing. A lot of you guys are extremely intelligent, much more intelligent in many more things. And so you guys have probably had a really good school plan laid out. You guys have probably had a project outline. You finished that work that made, I don't know, millions of dollars, whatever the case might be. There was a system in place for you guys to be able to get your degree, for you guys to be able to, join the military and find all these successes that you guys found, right? And it wasn't always related to fitness. So next question here is, how do you treat yourself on a daily basis? Do you degrade yourself? Do you make self-deprecating comments out of insecurity? Do you put yourself in toxic or unhealthy situations? Do you have boundaries for the type of people in your life? Or do you stay true to your beliefs? And these are all things that I've used to do. Always degrade myself, always made self-deprecating comments, always put myself in these toxic situations. And this is it's a self-sabotaging cycle, right? These first three. And we do it, a lot of us do it unknowingly, a lot of us do it knowingly. We do it because it gives us an ability to be a victim. It puts us in ability, I didn't go to the gym because I was, I drank all night, so maybe I just won't go to the gym. It gives you a reason before you actually have to say, oh, I can't do it. It gives you an out. So setting some boundaries for yourself and the people in your life is extremely important to make sure that you stick to those core values. And then how do you treat others? So these correlate very well with one another. Do you talk nicely to people's face and then trash behind their back? Are you passive towards those that disrespect your boundaries? Do you hold the door for people? Do you hype people up? Like, how are you treating other people? It's a very important question. A very big change I've made is I'm always nice to the lady at the counter, at the register. I talk way more than I should at the register. Maria hates it sometimes, but it's like something I've actively tried to improve in my life because it always relates back to how I carry myself on a day-to-day. I'm just trying to be as positive as I possibly can, and it's translated into like how I look, how I feel, how I eat, all that stuff. And there's a slide I forgot to put in here. It's about passiveness. So passiveness is, I want you guys to type in the chat if you guys know what I mean by passiveness is not a sign of humility. Type in the chat if you know what I mean by that. I wonder if I can see the chat in here. Oh. Chat. Well, for some reason I can't see the chat. Never mind. Morgan, are people typing in the chat? I can't see.
Yeah.
What are people saying?
We got a no, understood, and I think so.
Okay. Well, so passiveness is not humility, means that when someone say, well, let's relate it to fitness, right? Someone says, hey, oh, you're not looking too good, right? Like, why are you working out so much? You're getting really skinny. It's like, and you just kind of like laugh it off. You don't really stand up for yourself, and you say, you let it go, right? You're passive about it. That's you thinking like, oh, I want to be humble. I don't want to let them know that I actually feel good and I look good. That's not humility. You're just being a coward, right? You're being a coward. You think that you're hot shit. Just because someone's telling you that you're skinny or you don't look very good or they're downplaying your efforts, you for some reason think that you're hot shit. So you're like, I shouldn't stand up for myself because then I'll look arrogant. Like you're being passive, and that's gonna relate over to how people treat you. Oh, they're not going to respect your core values. They're not going to respect you wanting to eat healthy, you wanting to go to the gym. They're going to keep pushing you, right? Hey, let's go out to drink. Fine, let's go. Fine, whatever. You don't put those boundaries in place. And I see it every single day. Well, almost not. It's gotten a lot better. Obviously, the people I coach and people are starting to set boundaries, but I see it with new people that I coach all the time. And then playing the comparison game, are you comparing yourself to other people? Are you compare yourself to your significant other's ex? Do you wonder why this person has a bigger butt than you, even though you're working so hard? It's like you're always worried about how can I get to where this person's at, and not really focus on what's the next step for me, right? So you becoming overwhelmed, looking at you're zooming out instead of focusing on your next move. So there's good news, right, about core values, right? You can always create them. You can always create them. You can always reevaluate them. And something that I've learned is that you want to reassess them every 3 to 4 months, right? So we're going to go into what my personal values are. I'll give you guys my full list. I'll give you Morgan's. I'll give you Chris's. And then, we'll go into that a little bit later. But I'm going to reassess mine every 4 months, right? Like, have I evolved from these? Have I changed? Have I gotten, my knowledge grown? And I'm like, this isn't really what I stand for anymore. Or maybe they stay strong, right? If you operate your life on strong core values, you will always maintain a balanced structure of work, fitness, and family. So you have a foundation, you have a path to follow to keep you grounded in times of despair, the unknown, and opposition. Now, here's the bad news, right? Some of you are going to read this and you're going to say, well, how are core values going to get me abs? How are they going to get me shredded? How are they going to get me huge and strong? And that's not the point here, right? Your values need to put your ego to the side, right? you getting into fitness just for the way that you look, just for likes on Instagram, just so that the girl at the gym notices you, that's not the reason that we do this. And that's the reason why a lot of people fall off. Because as soon as you stop getting that attention, why am I even here? Why am I at the gym? There's nothing more valuable than trust and integrity within yourself. So these core values are the foundation to building the confidence in yourself that you are seeking. The reason that you want that attention, the reason that you want people to notice you is because you just didn't have it before. And so, like, let's just pretend in a parallel universe, having a beer belly, having super small legs, having acne all over your face, that's the cool thing. That's what everyone wants, right? That in a parallel universe, that's what gave you confidence. You probably want those too, right? Because that's what people want. That's what people are attracted to. So you guys are chasing the thing that everyone else wants, not chasing the thing that you want. So staying true to your word creates that confidence, right? Staying true to why we're doing this in the first place. And the worst news, this is my favorite slide of the day. I'm sorry. Establishing core values is not going to save some of you. Some of you are going to get hyped up after seeing this. You'll be like, oh, I got to create some core values. I really need to make a change. But you're not going to do shit, okay? Some of you are going to you're going to have to feel real pain before you realize that change actually needs to be made. I see it all the time. There are people who come to me very last resort. Hey, look, I'm diabetic. Hey, I'm on high blood pressure medication. I don't know how to get off. Hey, I'm 120, 200 pounds overweight. Hey, I'm spending thousands of dollars a month on medication. Hey, I'm extremely depressed. I almost took my life. I need to make some changes, right? Eventually that pain's going to be so severe, you absolutely have no choice. And a lot of you aren't at that point, but you're letting yourself get deeper and deeper into it. Whether you're becoming diabetic, whether you're becoming more depressed, whatever the case might be. Some of you aren't at that point yet. And some of you watching this later on in the videos, you're probably at that point. You're like, shit, I did wait to the very last moment. But the important part here is that we're here, right? And the good news is you can still start and create some boundaries and some core values today. So the reason I want everyone on this call is that these are some culture standards that I'm going to start putting in place for the full team. Okay, this is something I want you guys to pretty much ingrain into your head. This is what Morgan and Chris and I are going to be expecting from everyone from here on out. Okay, these are some standards that we think if you guys implement this into your life, there's going to be absolutely no reason that you guys do not feel your absolute best every day of your life. We take control of every situation, and we adapt and adjust. We bring 3 possible solutions along with any issue we present. Hey, John, I'm going on vacation this weekend. What do I do? I don't know. What do you do? Like, find some solutions, bring them to me. Hey, I'm going to go on vacation this weekend. I'm going to work out in the morning, or hey, I'm going to go on the walk in the morning instead of working out. I'm going to drink a lot of water, and I'm going to limit myself to, I don't know, 3 margaritas a day. Cool. Great solution. I don't have to tell you everything you have to do, right? This is how you guys become self-sufficient. We chase excellence in everything we do. We think for ourselves and make decisions. We aim to improve our quality of life so we can improve the lives of those important to us. We stand out and we never try to fit in. We maintain high standards for how we treat ourselves and others around us. We can always be more humble because you ain't shit. Nobody in here is shit. I ain't shit. We never stop setting goals, and we treat ourselves with respect. And that last one is I think one of the most important ones because it relays into what we allow in our life, the type of people we allow, the type of action we allow people to do around us, how they treat us. Treating ourselves with the utmost respect brings everything else together. So that's some pretty big things I think you guys should really take a screenshot, take a picture. I think if you guys implement that into your life, there should be no reason you guys don't feel absolutely fucking amazing for the rest of your life. Now, these are some company standards that I put in place for myself, Morgan, and Chris. Okay, and some of them are similar to the culture standards. Some of these are similar to my own core beliefs. We have the ability to adapt and adjust. Nobody works harder than us. We operate with honesty, integrity, respect, trust, and communication. We chase excellence in everything that we do. We are humble and take pride in our work. No one is below us, no matter how much success we see. We are grateful for what we do. We are the cause for everything that is in our lives. We are action-oriented. Without action, there are no results. We do what it takes to ensure success for the greater good of the company, the coaches, and the clients. We stand out. We never try to fit in. And we have fun. What the hell's the point? So these are my personal core values. This is just a cool picture that I took this weekend. And the only reason I put it here is because of the shirt right here. Now, these are my personal core values. Every action must be intentional. My purpose is to serve those in my life. Family is everything. I maintain the same high standards that I hold others to. You guys, anything I hold you guys to, I will always do myself or I have done myself. I can always be more humble. I only lack that which I have not given. So if you don't know what this means, it pretty much means, for example, if I'm not receiving love in my life, it's because I'm not giving love, right? If I'm not receiving love from my family, it's because I'm not giving the proper love. If I'm not receiving love from Maria, it's because I'm not giving that love, right? Taking accountability for what I'm not getting. Everything in my life is there because I allow it to be, and the cause for everything in my life. It's not always my fault, but it is always my responsibility. And I won't complain about work I did not do. So notice how all these relate back to, they relate to fitness, they relate to business, they relate to just my personal life, right? Every action must be intentional. I wake up, I work out, I go to the gym. Sorry, I work out, I make my food, I eat. Everything I do is intentional to grow myself, grow the business, make sure you guys are taken care of, make sure my goals are taken care of. Everything you can always relate back to fitness, and that's why when I was making this, I was like, this feels like a life coach talk, but it's really just fitness, man. Running a business is just like handling your fitness. Now, Chris couldn't be here today, but these were his core values. I get the job done by any means necessary. I stick to the plan and know the return on investment. I give back to those who support you. I give back to those who support me without conditions. I live the standard that I expect from others. I always know. I changed his wording around, so now it doesn't make sense. All the sentences started with you before, and I changed them to I, and I forgot to change the others. So I'll just read them the way they're supposed to. I live the standard that I expect from others. I always know where my shortcomings are. I lead from the front, never from the back. I don't complain about work I didn't. I don't complain about work I asked for. I think logically, not with emotion. I don't stress the uncontrollables, and I control the controllables with positive acts. Those are pretty good. And then Morgan's, I honor my work in maintaining a healthy self-esteem. I hold myself accountable for my actions. I will strive to bounce back from setbacks and remain resilient. I show unconditional support to my family and close friends. I take responsibility for my life and my independency. I practice self-control and stay focused on my goals. I engage in hobbies and sports to maintain a balanced lifestyle. I remain loyal to friends, family, and clients. Strive to maintain peace by resolving conflicts calmly. I commit to a lifelong of learning and self-improvement. Those are pretty good. That's it. So I want everyone to take a second and write down just 5 core values that are applied to your work, your family, and your fitness. I'll take like 2 minutes. Everyone write. I want one person to share. So one person get yourselves together. What is going on here? And I'll go back to mine so if you guys want like examples. Oh, well. There we go. Like 30 seconds left. Okay, cool. All right. Does anybody want to share? You can unmute yourself. I can't see the chat for some reason. I don't know how Zoom works.
I would like to share one. I don't
Go
know
for
if
it.
you can hear me.
I can hear you, but I can't find you. Megan, yes. Go for it.
I never judge people. Like, I don't judge their situation. I just don't judge them. I try not to like ever judge anybody negatively. And like when somebody does say something about somebody's situation or something, I just say like, how does that make you feel to like talk about them? Like,
Okay. So it's the phrase is I don't judge other people.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What's another one? Or actually, that's fine. Someone else give one of theirs. That way you don't have to list all five if you don't want. Unless you want to. Albert, let me hear one of yours.
Time with friends and family, be it personal, be it like in person or any form of contact. Like I usually just try to keep contact with all my family. I got family in Texas, California, Michigan, here. I usually try to reach out to one family branching off of a tree and just be like, hey, how's everyone else doing? How's this doing? So I try to keep contact with all my family because I broke bridges in the past with all my family. So it's nice having contact with them again.
Make it a statement for me. Like make it just like a one-off statement.
Family values, I guess.
What about them?
I just want to make sure that I keep them strong. Like I broke them before.
I keep my family values strong.
There you go.
It's like if we can't just state it, then it gets blurred. We're like, well, it could like it just gets lost in translation. If we have it like stuck, we always remember it and we always abide by it. Does that make sense? Anyone else? Randy, what's one of yours? I know you got some good ones.
My top one is living a spirit-led life, and kind of plays into all of them. And I think my top one definitely is don't stress about the day. Everything will happen according to God's will. Control what you can control and give everything else over to God.
There you go. Yep. Control. Oh. All right, that is 3. Can we get 2 more?
I'll do one. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Mine was that I don't require anything that I can't provide.
Wait, one more time? I couldn't hear it.
I don't require anything that I can't provide.
I like that. I don't require anything I can't provide. Okay, cool. That's like I only like that which I'm not given, but I do not require anything which I do not provide. I like that. Okay, cool. One other person, please.
To take care of my health.
Hold on.
Oh, that's me, Will.
Wait, say it again.
To take care of my health.
What does that? What do you mean?
Like just in general, like my health, like my gut health, well, my stomach in general, because I just had a lot of, stomach problems.
Right. Okay, cool. So I prioritize my health. That's pretty good. Cool. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you guys for sharing. But yeah, so like everything that everyone said, yes, it applies to like your daily life with family and friends and everything, but like those are things that you guys are gonna put first, right? So like with Albert, like his family values are super important. He's not going to compromise that to go off and do things that are obviously not going to be beneficial, right? It's something that's going to be rooted in the way that he carries himself, with the way he eats, with the way he trains, because him being as healthy as he possibly can is going to help him rebuild those connections better, because he's going to be feeling more confident, feeling better about himself, etc. It all relates. So, just one person, tell me 3 benefits that you want to see from sticking to your core values. So whatever you guys wrote down, you don't have to tell me all 5 of them, but what are 3 benefits you want to see from what you've stated? Does that make sense?
My family not wanting or needing anything coming up the way I did.
Like your
like
future
finance
family.
Yeah, like so just taking care of finances now so my future family like has no needs or worries that like I can't handle.
Okay, I like that. Well, Albert, you're like a pretty good example where like you started taking your health and your fitness super seriously, and then your business started doing super well, and like you're kind of, it's just kind of compounding. So like, do you feel like you putting your health and fitness being like one of your pretty much your top priority, do you feel like that branched off into how confident you feel with like what you're doing now with sales and I don't know if you want to share kind of what you're going through right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, 100%, because it's just branched. It started with just originally like, I don't know if a lot of you guys know my story or not. Originally, I straight out of prison. I started working for GNC. So I was, a bad cookie, and I got out of it with a proper mindset, and I just wanted to stay healthy. And I was like, okay, well, GNC is nutrition. Cool. I can learn nutrition and just kind of branch from there. And I stuck with that. And then I just started learning, like, okay, cool. I actually really enjoy nutrition, but I just need to figure out like health. And then it just like, I started reaching out to like personal trainers and trying to learn other stuff. And, step after step, we got to where you're at with John, and then just getting to know John and then other people around him has just branched open new opportunities for me to continue to grow in like places I dreamed of. I just never fathomed I'd be able to get to, and I'm getting there even past what I even thought was possible. So it's 100%. Like the more I continue to better myself, the more my life just betters itself. So it's it's freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, as soon as I met Albert and he was telling me where he was working, I was like, dude, we're gonna get you out of there and we're gonna give you some more freedom. But cool. But like with Albert, now that we have so much structure with him, he has so much more freedom. Like we've applied so much structure, now there's more freedom. And so that goes back into structure creates freedom. And so the truth is, the reason you guys don't have what you want is just because you're not committed to it. Like point blank period. If your goal is to move a certain way, look a certain way, you're just not that committed to it, or else you would be closer to that goal by now. Okay, your coach can't want success for you more than you want it for yourself. And a lot of you guys in here are amazing athletes, amazing clients. So don't get it twisted and say, oh, you should be doing better. But think about times in the past couple months, past couple weeks, where you're just like, I'm not going to do it this week. I'm not going to do it today, right? There's always a little bit more that we could add to it, right? And I want to reiterate, we cannot want your success more than you want it for yourself. You become overwhelmed because you see structure as a prison instead of seeing it as a path. And structure creates that freedom by giving you direction until you're naturally structured. So what I mean by that is I had a ton of structure, growing up in my early 20s with training, with nutrition. I was super on point with everything. I could go 6 months not tracking anything, and I am perfectly fine. I probably won't really budge with how I look. Right now I'm on prep, so it's a little bit different because everything right now is extremely exact. But on a normal day, I can walk around. I feel really good. I look good. I feel fine. That's because I had so much structure with the way I eat, with the way I train, that now that structure is just a part of my life. It's just ingrained in there. Now I don't feel like it's a prison. If I get to, what did feel like a prison was the honeymoon. The honeymoon was tough because I wasn't eating I wasn't eating similar foods. I was training, but it's like things were so sporadic that for me, I felt like this is just too much freedom. I want to go back to my normal structure. Like I want to be able to like talk to everyone. I'll text everyone back. I want to do my check-ins. Like that is what I see as freedom because I see it as a path, right? I'm getting to something at the end. So a lot of you guys, I'm pretty sure most of you, no one in here is self-employed from what I know. Some of you guys are. But I'm sure everyone in here has worked a 9 to 5 or worked a day job, right? So a lot of you guys have worked 9 to 5 with a boss, right? How many of you have had your day planned out, but then something was added to your to-do list at work? So you have to finish that off before you can leave and go to the concert or go to happy hour with friends. So type in the chat if this has ever happened to you. Or you've even said like, oh, sorry, I can't hang out today. I'm sorry, I've worked. Oh, I can see the chat now. Nice. Sweet. Yes. Yep, pretty sure everybody. So, and if you didn't get the job, then you probably lose your job or you lose status at work. You get demoted. You're not seen as a great employee anymore. Like it happens, right? Because you're working for somebody else. So why don't you do that when it comes to doing your own shit? Like, why is someone else's job, someone else's business more important than yourself? So like, why do your friends and family get to tell you when you get to work out, what you get to eat? Like, why don't you take a stand and say, no, I got to get this shit done. Okay, like this is the structure I have for myself. But for some reason, you guys love working for someone else and getting other people's shit done, but not getting your own shit done. A lot of you guys are great in here, but a lot of you guys got some priorities mixed up. And so you're losing your integrity every time you do this. Every time you let someone deter you because you are too passive to say, no, sorry, I got to get this done. That's passiveness. That's not taking a stand. Whereas before you work in the 9 to 5, oh, sorry, man, I can't. My boss told me I got to wash dishes. Oh, my boss said I got to finish this project. Same shit. So a lot of you guys, you need to sit with yourself and ask yourself, why do I have trouble prioritizing myself? You don't really know who you are yet, right? You're using fitness as an escape from who you really are. Like, why did you join the team? Why are you into the gym so much? Like, why are you eating healthy? Like, are you escaping from someone that you are scared of? Like, are you escaping from some insecure person, someone who is worried about being out of shape? Like, why are you doing this? Because if the only reason you're doing this is because you're afraid of being out of shape, the moment you see any sign of fat gain or any sign of you deterring from your goals, you're immediately gonna be like, oh, shit, I'm just gonna stop. Like, this is becoming too much. I'm not what I used to be like. There are no core values in place. Okay, and that's why this presentation is so important, because a lot of you, I've seen it. I've been coaching for about 10 years, and I've seen people do super well for a year or so, and then I see them on Facebook or Instagram, and then they've gained 30, 40 pounds. And I'm like, hey, bro, like, what happened? What's going on? I mean, I did really well for a little while on my own, but now, I got into a relationship. I gained like 20 pounds, and I didn't know how to lose it anymore. There were no core values in place. The only reason he joined, there was one guy who joined. I was training him when I had my gym. He was doing so good. He looked sick. Then he was like, hey, bro, like, the girl that I was dating, she hit me back up, and we're hanging out again. It's like, oh, cool. I stopped hearing from him like shortly after. They started dating. They got super serious. This man gained 40 pounds. I think it was 40 pounds in like a month. And he was like, yeah, we were texting back and forth, and he was just like asking me like tips and stuff. I was like, how much have you gained? He's like, 40 pounds. He's like, I haven't gone to the gym in a couple weeks. Like, she doesn't like when I go. I'm like, all right, well, you see, like, the reason he joined is because he wanted that attention. He got it back. So why would he go to the gym anymore? There was no reason for him to, like, he was hiding from who he was. There was no purpose behind it. There was no core value behind it. So this all needs to be for you and your values, right? You owe it to yourself and the people you love to put yourself first, whether it be to look a certain way, whether it be to beat any conditions that you have, any metabolic issues, beating the diabetes, high blood pressure, whatever it might be, right? It has to be for you and the people in your life, the people that you love. If you lack integrity and trust in yourself, everything else around you collapses. You start hiding back in your little shadow. You lose the why. And at the end of the day, you're not fighting anyone else in this world other than yourself. Stop blaming your girlfriend. Stop blaming your boyfriend. Because remember, everything that's in your life is because you allow it to be, right? Even though that's one of my core values, I strongly believe that everyone has complete control of what and who is in their life. That is why in my first 2 hours of my day is peacetime. Like, my first 2 hours, I might be up at the gym 4 in the morning, but until 6:30, or maybe if I'm up at 5, maybe till 7, I'm not on Instagram. And if I am, I'm just posting a story because I need to for business and the algorithm and all that stuff. But then I turn it off and I'm back to what I need to do. So be comfortable with just sitting with yourself. If you find that you're always scrolling Instagram, always needing to text somebody, always need to call somebody, you're hiding, right? You're not comfortable with just sitting with yourself. I think this is the last thing. No, it's not. That is where the real growth happens. When you're sitting with yourself, sitting in the shadows, sitting with your darkness, you find out what's really important to you and why you're doing this in the first place. That was it. So, and then if you guys want to contact us, me, Morgan, Chris, but that's not for you guys. But do you guys have any questions? I know I kind of went a little longer on that than I wanted to. But do you guys have any questions, anything about this or anything? First questions about this specifically. You can just unmute yourself or type in the chat, whatever you want. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cool. Anybody have any specific questions other than this? Just like fitness related that you feel like other people could benefit from? Anything you've been wanting to ask? Literally anything.
Yeah, so for like people that smoke and stuff, the THCs and the marijuanas, what is the best way to curb like the cravings per se for the recreationals?
Oh, I am the right person to ask that question to. I do I do a lot of, I got this from Dakota. I don't think she's on here because I think she was at the gym. I do a lot of diet soda with sugar-free vanilla and a little bit of almond milk. and it tastes like a float. And I use a lot of sugar-free chocolate syrup in my almond milk to get a sweet fix.
Sugar-free chocolate syrup. Okay, I thought you were talking about sugar-free chocolate syrup in the diet soda. I was really.
No, I
I feel like
mean,
you could mix all
maybe
that in
like
a Ninja Creamy and make ice cream out of it.
you definitely could. I mean, I have kind of been slacking on the Ninja Creamy. I don't know how the carbonation and soda would do. But now that I can't really digest any protein powders, I haven't really played with it too much. So, yeah,
I'd say
maybe
let
more.
the soda go flat.
Yeah,
Albert,
that's true.
your question was cravings with PhD?
Yeah. Yeah, like food cravings. So my snack options are always very low calorie. Oh, and sugar-free popsicles from like the regular popsicle brand.
And
They're like 5 carbs for like 3 of them, I think, or 15. Yeah, like 5 carbs for 3 of them. I'm pretty sure.
and pickles.
Pickles, yes.
Pickle day.
Pickles are my hidden gem. I get the little mini Vlasics and I eat like 3 of those to like curb my. I need to crunch on something crunchy. Like it's golden.
Pickle or cucumber with, like, if you're like on really low calories, a cucumber with salt is fine. That's that's basically a pickle, but not as high sodium. But yes, that is good. Diet soda or pepper's fine. I had like a bubbly here, but I drank it. Any other questions? Good question, Albert.
Sorry, I actually just wanted to clarify. Were you like trying to ask about how to curve like the munchies? Is that what you meant by cravings?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, got you. Go fucking smoke some more and go to sleep, dude.
Anybody else have any questions? Thank you for the tip, Gus. What do you guys think of the presentation? The message behind it. What do you guys think? Can you be
It was
honest?
good. It was good. I think I feel like I
I
need to accept some more like core values. Like it was kind of hard for me to think of. Like I have values, like honesty, integrity, be truthful. But it's like I feel like I need more like things to help me, in my day-to-day life.
Because when I asked Morgan and Chris their core values, they gave me words. They just like
Yeah.
trust, integrity. It's like write it out. Give me a sentence. Yeah, I think if you give a sentence, it adds more like power to it instead of just like we all value trust, we all value integrity. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. But like, how do we apply that? But yeah. Anybody else have any questions? I'll play my game real quick.
I just wanted to say this was pretty helpful. Sometimes I feel like we neglect like reflecting and just kind of having like a little time in your day to think about all this stuff really gets you like a reminder of why you started in the first place, or like, getting the vision of why you want to keep going. So today was really good.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm glad. I appreciate that.
I don't know if it's
Ice cream or something. Okay, cool. So, Maury, do you have anything to add? You're muted.
Nothing I can think of right now.
Okay, sweet. All right. So, the game is going to be guess the number. Because I was trying to think. I'm like, how do I play a game with multiple people? So I'm going. There's going to be. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right. So I'm gonna go back on my whiteboard. I'm gonna write a number between 1 and. Let me do this math again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are there 15 people? No, I'm tripping. I just.
Ali, can you go on the sidewalk and drive?
Because I can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Stay on the sidewalk.
There's 12 people, buddy, minus you, Morgan, and your little note taker.
12 people, you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'm going to write a number between 1 and 12. You guys like how creative I am?
People are gonna have the same number, John.
My God, you might as well do 1 through 100 or
No, so whoever has same number, then they have to do a show off. So then they do it again, same number through like 10, and then whoever is the closest for that.
So, damn, I didn't think this through. This is what I was going to do. Is I'm going to have everyone go down the line, everyone give a number, and that number's taken now. We can't do it. Because there's no like advantage. It's not like, oh, I wanted 8. It's like, who cares? All right.
You need to stay on the side though, please.
All right. Let's,
69.
all right.
It's
Let's go. I'm going to go from the first person I see. So, Wes, you go first. Give me a number.
What is it through?
1 through 12.
Okay, I'm gonna get a 9.
Okay. Megan.
I'm gonna go 7.
7. Okay. So, no set. What did you say, Wes? 11.
9. I'll put it in the chat too.
Okay. 7 and 9.
Oh, boo for Randy.
Albert, what did you say?
5 for me.
Oh shit.
Okay. 5, 7, 9 are taken.
Why
Gus?
did I just- Oops, sorry, Steph.
Gus, a number that's not 5, 7, or 9.
I gotta go with 8 because Kobe.
Right.
Okay. Will.
A 3.
3. Okay. Pam.
Go.
6.
Okay. Sarah.
4.
Maggie. 2. Christine.
1.
Who's that? Austin.
9.
9's taken.
10.
Randy.
12.
Steph. Randy's so tired. Steph. What's the last one?
11.
11. Okay. Oh, look, I'm not cheating. Can you guys see that number or no? Let me stop sharing.
No. 10?
Is it
boo,
actually
no.
10? Wow.
Also, look at what Maria wrote on my board this morning. Smile today, we are so lucky. I didn't see that till just now. Very nice. All right, Austin wins.
He said, wow, is it actually 10?
Such
I didn't even get to say a number.
That's my favorite number.
I didn't even get to say one.
Yeah, you did.
No, I did not.
Redo.
Your silence spoke volumes. No, Austin already said 10. It was already taken. But that was my complex game. I'll find a better one next time. But let me stop this real quick. All right, well, I'll just stop it when I end the call. But thank you guys for coming. Do you guys have any questions or anything for me before we head out for Morgan? Anything? Great. All right, well, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I'm going to reinforce the culture standards and roast you guys in check-ins on a daily or on a weekly basis, on a daily basis. So let's uphold those for yourselves because that's the whole point of this: become self-sufficient, be as healthy as possible. Okay. Well, cool. If you guys enjoyed it, just like tell in the chat and tell everyone that they suck for not coming. But thank you guys. I appreciate you guys. You guys have a great night, and I will see you guys in the opposing call tomorrow for whoever's coming. Wait, picture. Wait. Whoever didn't leave yet. Hold on, let me take a picture to make everyone else feel bad. How do I? Sorry, I'm holding up your Tuesdays. All right. For some reason, Gus, you are like the main person in this picture. So, all right. It just looks like Gus is in here. Oh my god. All right, never mind. Sorry, I'm like complete noob at this stuff. I'll see you guys later.